and welcome to the Phantom Zone After Dark Marvel Edition. Joining me this week is an eclectic cast, as it were.
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
Um, uh, Guest Eric Sayour.
Hello.
Usual member Hunter Davenport.
It's me, ya boy. The scrolls are invading.
And returning from somewhere in the sea, in the ocean, exploring, Alan Muir.
You know, when you think about it, George Lucas wasn't that bad of a guy.
No, stop that.
All right. So yeah, this is your canned intro. After dark. After dark. Yay! We're in an after dark thing. Maybe, possibly, if I decide to cut this episode in half. So first thing is, Black Panther is going for an Oscar campaign, I guess, which is a thing that nobody is surprised by.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead. Like, I'm not saying that it's like the best picture or anything, but like, I don't have a problem with it doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
It was better than at least three Best Picture nominees from last year. So.
yeah.
Well, Mark Miller is predicting that predicting or saying that it's going to do better than Infinity War.
Well, I mean, what does Mark Miller know?
Well, it's Mark Millar, so yeah.
But Eric is Eric calling some people out. You should listen to our post and pre-Oscar show to know what he's talking about. I don't know. Black Panther.
Oh, that was a good episode, by the way.
Thank you. With everything that happened at this Oscars, with Shape of Water winning, with Get Out winning, and with Logan not winning but getting nominated, I think there's a lot of momentum behind Black Panther. If Disney really is going to be putting the energy behind, actually doing an awards campaign for it, and like putting in the effort, I definitely see it. I can definitely see how this could possibly like win Best Picture if they really put the work in. At the least, Best Original Screenplay or Best Director, definitely, and Best Supporting for Michael B. Jordan, or maybe even Best Actor for Michael B. Jordan. I think is a lock.
What about Best Director for Ryan Coogler?
Yeah, I said that. I said that, Allan.
Yeah, I think Best Director is harder because there are only 5, but you can get up to 10 Best Picture, and that's a category. I think it could be nominated very much, considering what we've seen in recent years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Didn't someone recently come out and say that, like someone like important in the comic book industry say that either the comics or movie industry say that it could be the first superhero movie to be nominated?
No, it's not the first one to be nominated for anything, but it definitely
No, for best picture.
Yeah, no, it might be the first one for Best Picture. It's the first one. It's the first one where people thought it should be, where it probably will. Like, I don't think it's. I mean, again, the problem is it's March when we're recording this.
Yeah.
If me and Eric had been doing the podcast last March and we did predictions about what we think will be nominated for Oscars,
yeah, I don't think we'd have said Get Out.
Yeah, not at all. Like, we might have said Shape of Water, but there wasn't even a trailer out yet. It was just a plot synopsis, and there was an interview with Doug Jones, in which Doug Jones said that it might win an Oscar, which doesn't mean anything.
Good job,
Doug
Jones.
I mean, I trust Doug Jones.
I trust him too, but I don't know if he's I don't know if he's
Reliable source.
right, a predictor of Hollywood, as it were, an oracle of Hollywood. So yeah, I don't know.
Can I please quote something that Emmett said in his Oscars video?
Sure.
He said it's just like, I don't know if I'm not really in it for this. I mean, is she really gonna fuck a fish, or is she really gonna fuck that fish?
Hell yeah, she fucked that fish, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know. I definitely, the one place where I'm like, this is gonna get nominated, and this could probably win, is the best original screenplay. I feel like that's a gimme, because Logan was nominated for best adapted
screenplay. Yeah.
And this could get either one technically, depending on what they go out for. And anybody who listened to our show knows I had feelings about the best adapted screenplay. And I definitely think that if there's one that's going to win, it's this one. Just because it's not just a superhero movie, as we talked about in our review. There's so much more to it, and with, Oscars so white in the last couple of years, and sort of how the Oscars is very much trying to modernize itself and be
the Academy members are getting younger and less white, so that's a big factor why Get Out got nominated and won screenplay.
Yeah, definitely. So
it means people are getting woke.
Yeah, yes, to say the least, they are definitely.
Oh God, I feel terrible using that word.
Allan, you know what? It was funny because of the way that you said it, so it's okay. But no, like, yeah, I could definitely see it winning that. And again, I think Michael B. Jordan, at this point, he definitely gets nominated for something. But again, like, we have no idea.
It. Yeah,
we have no idea what's going to come out. But then again, like, if a Gary Oldman equivalent gets nominated next year at the same level of performance, and Michael B. Jordan doesn't, I'll be a little bit perturbed, to say the least.
We'll talk about it angrily on our podcast.
Yes, look for that in a year. That'll be fun. Okay, any last thoughts on the Black Panther thing?
No, I think whatever it gets, I mean, if it even gets in, even if it's nominated, that's something. Like,
yeah,
that's something huge, at least for MCU movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's huge.
Because nobody has ever been saying that the MCU movies will be Oscar nominated. Like, I think the closest I ever got to thinking, oh, they should definitely get nominated and they could win, is Winter Soldier. Like,
yeah,
that's the year where I remember thinking, if this doesn't get nominated or Guardians doesn't get nominated, I'll be disappointed, because I honestly think 2014 is the strongest year in the history of the MCU. Like,
oh no doubt it is.
Like none of the years, if you're just going film by film and the consistency of the quality of those films, no other year matches it at all. So, like, that's the last time I can think of where one of these movies could have been nominated and I would have been like, yeah, totally, why not? And I think that this is stronger than that film. So I don't see why it wouldn't at least get some sort of nomination. So yeah, moving on from one black superhero.
Wait, one last thing before we move on.
Go ahead. Go ahead, bud.
If this doesn't win,
well, that's slow down. It needs to be nominated first.
Okay, if it's not nominated, then the people who are deciding this should be forced to watch Doctor Strange 100 times in a row.
No, that's way overkill.
I wouldn't wish that. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Definitely not. But no, like, here's the thing, and we talked about this on the Oscar episode a little bit. If they don't campaign for it, it doesn't matter. the only reason this is a story is because Disney has already basically said, yeah, we're going to campaign for this. We are going to do a full Oscar campaign for this movie, which means sending out screeners, putting the movie back in theaters, putting up posters all over Hollywood saying, for your consideration, Black Panther.
Hell yeah.
Which is how these things happen. Like, if your movie doesn't have those for your considerations banners up, it doesn't get nominated. Like, Get Out, I'm sure if you lived in Hollywood, there were banners all over for Get Out. And any movie that gets an Oscar campaign. So if you don't... So what happens a lot of times is that the studios, they don't have the money for that campaign, or they just don't want to spend it on that. The only reason Sicario didn't get an Oscar campaign is because the movie made enough money, and the studio behind it didn't feel the need to make more money or to spend more money and get it into the Oscars. That's the only reason why.
The best Metal Gear movie that'll ever be made, Sicario.
That's fair. So yeah, like, these things, they're all about money, believe it or not. The Oscars is a money-making thing. But also for them, it's like, we made one of the best superhero movies, and we're going to make sure that you know it. So I think that that's part of their thinking. And also, like, if
we're
going
to let WB know we did it.
And if they can re-release it next February and conquer the box office again with the same movie 2 years in a row, you can bet that they're going to do it. Because here's the thing. I'll see it again if it gets a re-release. If it gets a full theatrical re-release, I'll go. I'm in. So yeah, that'll be interesting. All right, again, before my segue was interrupted, going from one black superhero to another black superhero in the Marvel Universe.
Spawn. Okay,
Catwoman.
hold on. Before you start this, I know I'm interrupting, but did you see that Spawn's filming in spring?
I don't believe it though. That's the thing.
I don't either. I don't
think it's real.
I think they're lying to me.
I think Todd McFarlane he's writing checks and he's telling the cast to be there, but they're not actually filming anything.
There's no cast. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, John Leguizamo, he'll show up.
God damn it. If John Leguizamo shows up, oh god.
He's gonna be Spawn.
Oh my. Oh, the articles about changing his race. Oh, so many of them. Okay. Black Panther, blah, 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 segue, whatever. Shortly after Jessica Jones came out, or I think the day of, maybe the day before, the Luke Cage Twitter tweeted out a video announcing the release date, which is going to be June 22nd, which, Marvel, you're killing us. You're really killing us. We're still going to be reviewing Supergirl at that point.
No. I mean, at that point, I'll welcome Luke Cage.
Yeah, probably. Same. I'll be like, thank God. And we're going to be doing a pilot review of Cloak and Dagger. I will force this. I will make this happen.
I heard the first reviews of that are actually really good.
Oh, look at that,
screened
guys.
Today at South by Southwest, and I think it got really good reviews.
God damn it!
Thank you, Eric. This is why you're here.
I'm gonna hate it.
I think you're just preemptively hating it because you can.
Yeah, that too.
Can we hate it so we don't have to watch it?
No, we're gonna do a pilot review because why not?
I mean, for the rest of the series.
I mean, if the pilot is good, that's why you do a pilot review, so you can decide. Luke Cage is coming out June 22nd. This is why it's in the speed round. I didn't expect the Oscar campaign thing to last that long. But no, like it's coming out very soon. And so yeah, that's the thing, I guess. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what they do, knowing the criticisms of Luke Cage season 1, and also they've had a lot of time. They had the time of waiting
Whole
for
lot of
Defenders to
time.
end. Yeah, and so I feel like the second season, if it improves on the first season in the same way that Daredevil season 2 improved on season 1, and that Jessica Jones season 2 improves on season 1, I think that Luke Cage season 2 could be really, really great.
Yeah. It does have the same showrunner, contrary to Daredevil. For each season, it's a different
Right.
different pair of showrunners. So
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of chance for improvement, like in Jessica Jones.
Definitely, and it does bring to question when Daredevil will come out, because I was forecasting like December, November, assuming that Luke Cage would come out August like Defenders did. This is our second year of having 3 of these shows in the same year, presumably. So I wanted, if anybody has any takes on when they think Daredevil will come out, because I think at this point it's probably mid-October, maybe September.
I think I'm gonna guess November, around that time, because I feel like they stretch these out so far out.
They do, but because remember, Punisher, they moved it because of the Las Vegas shooting.
Oh yeah, that I forgot about that. Yeah, all right.
So it was going to be like October 1st, or something like that, because New York Comic Con was happening, and they were gonna they were gonna do their panel, and then they were gonna be like at the end of the panel, and you can watch it all right now, and that was their whole thing, and it was gonna be like,
and they were like, no, we can't do that.
we can't do that. Like a dude, kind of like just shot a bunch of people in Vegas, kind of like Frank Castle. So we can't put the show out yet. And I'm glad that out of respect for the victims that they did sort of move it
that
back
was a
little
good thing
bit.
they did.
So yeah, like that was fairly close. Like August 18th to October 5th or 1st of the 5th, I can't remember. That's fairly close. So I could definitely see them going for September or even the same day that they released Defenders last year. But I don't know. We'll see. My guess for Daredevil being October, though, comes from the fact that October of last year, Daredevil's the account put out a thing that said, "I'm fine, guys," or whatever. And then it was like an invitation to Matt Murdock's funeral, with like a line from the Bible or something, something 25-26 or whatever. So, but that tweet came out October 16th. So my guess, which is about mid-October of last year. So mid-October this year seems like a good bet to me.
Did you see who's show running the next season? Eric Olsen. He work on Arrow season 3?
Oh.
That's a few episodes of that.
Oh, wait, so they changed the showrunner for Daredevil. I did not know that.
Each season has a different showrunner, and the new one is Eric Olsen.
I'm unsure how to feel about that, because you said said Arrow season 3, and I
That's not good.
that's depending on what episodes he wrote, that's either very good or that's very bad. That's interesting. New showrunner taking over from Douglas Petrie and Marco Ramirez. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's... I have to think about that for a long time now. And consider what that means.
Sit on that.
Yeah, I don't know how to react to that. That's a blow to my headspace right now. Okay, so yeah, we'll just keep on with sort of the Netflix Marvel. So Kristen Ritter was in an interview, and she basically said she doesn't know if there's going to be a Defenders season 2.
And you know what? I'm okay with that.
I mean, I'm not.
Well, here's the thing. I kind of liked that group was so dysfunctional.
Mm-hmm.
There's like the thought that they might not do that again. Like, kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, I can see that. My thing is this: if you're not going to do a show that is designated time where these characters have to cross over, you need to have them cross over in their own shows more.
I agree with that.
You do one or the other. You either have a designated show where this is the big crossover time, or Danny Rand is in like half of Luke Cage. Like that's just how it is. And Luke not showing up in this season of Jessica Jones made sense, but he should be in a good chunk of whatever Jessica Jones season 3 is. And when Matt Murdock comes back from the dead in Daredevil season 3, if in the next seasons they don't react to the fact that he is alive, that will be...
What the fuck's the point?
Yeah, like
exactly.
Like, there's no point in having these things ever be connected. Like, and that's another thing. I've had a problem with the fact that these shows didn't really feel as connected as even the mainline MCU. Like, you have Turk Bennett and you have Claire Temple, but even they don't really connect things as much as you would probably like.
Rosario Dawson is going to be in season 2 of Luke Cage.
Yeah, like, she's connecting fiber, but, like, you want more? Like, when she...
Foggy's kind of become that, too.
Yeah, he's definitely becoming that. And Hogarth and Foggy are sort of acting like that, but it's really all the side characters that connect things. Again, like, aside from Luke being in half of Jessica Jones season 1, there hasn't been much crossover between these characters up until the designated crossover show. Like, there was a rumor that Danny was going to be introduced in Luke Cage. That was something I was very into because we hadn't seen Iron Fist yet. And getting an idea of how Danny would act in Luke Cage...
And I kind of wish they did that.
Yeah, kind of. Like, it might have helped a little bit. There was a little bit of an establishment of his character going forward. And again, like, we already know Danny is going to be in Luke Cage season 2. Like, a good chunk, which I'm excited about because...
Here's fire.
And also, like, if you go through his entire time in the Netflix MCU so far, his best stuff is the stuff with Luke Cage. The Defenders is his best stuff. It's his best work. That's the golden nuggets of Danny as a character and his interactions with Luke. So him being in Luke Cage is like, well, we're definitely going to get the best version of Danny then, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, me too, huh?
Yeah, like... I guess that's my thing. It's like, if you're not going to do the designated crossover show, these characters better interact with each other a fuck ton in their individual shows. Like, that's just how it should be from going on. Because, again, like, I started to get more invested in these characters as I learned more that in the comics, these 4 characters are super interconnected. Like, I mean, Luke and Jess have a kid. It's either Danny or Matt is the godfather to that kid. All these, like, little things where it's like, these characters know each other and they have a very strong relationship. The moment, one of the many times, where Matt has been outed as Daredevil in the comics, the 2 people he hired as his bodyguard were Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. And
even Iron Fist becomes Daredevil a couple times.
Like these
and
4,
based on the ending of Defenders.
Yeah,
that might happen.
That might happen again. Like so like these are 4 characters that I really want to see interact. So I hope that that's what they do. If they're not going to do designated shows for that. So yeah, I guess that's pretty cut and dry. Eric, do you have any takes on this? I guess.
Yeah.
'Cause...
I think I do like the idea of like Luke Cage and Iron Fist and Daredevil interacting, but I feel Jessica Jones works best by herself. Even in that, like I can see her like being on the Luke Cage show, and but I think her in her own show works the best for me.
Here's the thing. I agree with that. And for me, really, it's just I want Luke and Matt to make cameos, and I do want them to not verbatim do the storyline from the books, but like I want to see them and their kid. I want that. I want
Matt-
that storyline.
Yes.
Matt Murdock returning from the dead
But-
should be a big fucking deal. Like,
Yeah. That's another thing. It's like, but that said, I don't want Luke and Jessica to have their kid in like season 3. I want that to be a thing that's a little bit down the line. Like,
yeah.
let's like a season 5 of Jessica
Build
Jones thing, maybe, you know, after a couple
Yeah.
years, after they've sort of come back together and decided to maybe be official in some way.
After they take down the hand again.
Yeah.
Come on.
No thanks.
I said this when we did the Defenders,
The Foot Clan.
and I'm gonna say it again. I just want something from Power Man and Iron Fist.
I think they will down the road do Heroes
Yeah.
for Hire as like a show.
Yeah, I think they
Like,
will too.
that makes sense.
Because I
Like-
think, especially if Iron Fist season 2 is not an improvement over Iron Fist season 1,
Oh no.
which feels like it's hard for it not to be. But let's just say that it is.
It's not an it's not an uphill battle. Let's leave it at that.
Fair. If it isn't, or if it even just isn't successful because Iron Fist season 1 poisoned the well, which I would 100% understand. If it did so, I could understand them doing Heroes for Hire instead of another season of Iron Fist.
I have good news for you. The new showrunner for Iron Fist is the writer of 2005 movie Elektra.
I know this.
Oh.
No!
So I did.
Fuck this show.
So when he was announced as the showrunner, I didn't realize that, but then I looked that up, and I was like, okay, I don't know if this is better or not. And also, why is this person involved with this universe?
God damn it, Ike.
It is his first writing credit, so I'll give him like maybe he got better.
Right.
He wrote a bunch of like Sleepy Hollow, which I heard is pretty good.
I've heard
Sleepy
that
Hollow's
show's
good. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard that
Wait,
show's
wait,
good.
Which season?
Starting with season 2.
Okay. Season 3, they changed things up and then it got canceled. So.
All right, so season 2 is, we can assume it's a good season then. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the last of the Netflix Marvel Universe stuff. So we have 2 last stories. That's just okay. Do we want the Leifeld story or do we want New Mutants first?
Let's get Leifeld out of the way.
All right. Netflix announced it is going to be producing.
Nope. I don't like this already.
I guess Leifeld is the right thing to follow. Netflix is producing an Extreme Verse series or movies. So I know nothing about the Extreme Verse other than it's drawn by Rob Liefeld.
It's bad, I can tell you that.
Connor's not lying. Rob Liefeld is the Antichrist.
Well, no, okay, so here's the thing. I will say this. Rob Liefeld has been rightfully called a hack when it comes to some of his art.
Because they're not wrong.
Well, because some of it's like, that's ridiculous. Why does Captain America have boobs?
Who okayed this?
But then you look at some of his... I think what happened is that as he kept on going, the older Rob Liefeld, the more recent the art, the worse it is. But if you go farther back, some of it's better, definitely.
It's passable when he's drawing Cable, I think,
Mm-hmm.
for the most part.
And some of it's not even ridiculous. Some of it's like, that's fine. Like that's good enough. That's
It's passable, I'd
Right.
say.
Have
And
any of you guys read The Infinite?
No, we don't care.
Uh-huh.
It's a book that he and Robert Kirkman did.
Okay, well, I'm against that already, even though I like
No, hate
Outcast.
that. That's bad.
Um,
No,
this
this
Liefeld this. He's
It's-
very passionate about the industry that he works in.
Right.
And it's good. I like that.
and he's a very polite guy. Also, if you've ever watched an interview with him, like he seems like a genuinely cool dude. But everything I've heard about the Extreme Verse, says that it's the most late 90s comic book bullshit.
Yep.
Like, it's just the worst parts of the 90s where it's like,
I'm pretty
everything's
sure there's a
extreme.
Wolverine knockoff.
Yeah.
Named, like, Deathstrike or something like that.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, unless whoever they hired to write the show kind of takes a sarcastic look at it, in a way. Like,
Yeah, if
Oh
it's
my
a
God,
comedy instead of...
A satire would be great.
yeah, like, it's the designs, but they're making fun of the designs. That would be interesting, I think.
Man, I got nothing to put in all these pouches.
Right. Like they comment on how anatomically incorrect their bodies are and things like that. You know, like, why
I
would a
only have
woman be
3
shaped like
fingers.
this? Yeah. Why am I in this? Why do I look like this? Things like
Why
that
can't
would
I
be
put my
interesting.
arms down?
Like that would be interesting. But if it's just like a straight, serious adaptation, I'm like, no thanks. I'm good. Give me that Mark Miller stuff that you're working on, because that at least I can see the hope in that. But this is just no. I'm good. And if you don't know who Rob Liefeld is, go look it up. His stuff is...
Yeah, I just realized it's not a series, a TV series. It's a series of movies
Oh.
and a cinematic universe.
Oh no.
Oh God.
I wasn't sure, but
That's
I
why
wonder what's gonna be worse. Their live action anime adaptations or this.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. I hope they go more for our idea of, like, let's not maybe take it seriously, because if you're gonna adapt something from the 90s and you take it seriously, you already got it wrong. If you're gonna do Duke Nukem and you're just gonna take it seriously, you fucked up first off by choosing Duke Nukem.
Yep.
But if
That's your first mistake.
But if you're not gonna, like, update it in some way and, like, comment on how dumb it is, why even do it?
For example, if let's say that Duke Nukem movie comes out and it's about him being a washed up loser who sucks,
Right.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I'd be into that.
And it's making fun of him the entire time. It's just shitting on the idea of Duke Nukem. That would be interesting. If it's not that...
Sly would make a good Duke Nukem.
Yeah, maybe.
Just some aging geriatric fuck in a wheelchair.
That'd be good. So yeah. That's the extreme verse thing. So yeah. All right.
More good news. It's from the producer, I think, of The Dark Tower, some Transformers.
That's not good at all.
Batman and Robin.
I'm against this. I'm so against this on every level. Okay.
I guess they wanted to do something good finally after Bright.
Okay.
Boy.
I didn't hate Bright, but still.
Go away, Max Landis. Go away.
Okay. Final story. This one could be good. It could be bad. I know nothing about the New Mutants, so I don't know whether to be excited about this story or not. But New Mutants may be adding Warlock, which is a character from the books. They're definitely adding a new character. That's been confirmed. I was unsure, though, if they were adding Warlock or not. And Warlock, for those who don't know, he's basically like a cyber-biological alien? Mutant, also? Is that sort of accurate for those on...
Oh shit! Oh no, his best friend Cypher. Warlock is kind of like a alien, cyber organic being.
Okay, so like
He's an extraterrestrial mutant / technarchy.
Yes.
So he's kind of like
He's from Kvitch.
So I'm trying to think of like a good. There's nothing. Here's the thing. He's a character who's very unique from everything
Yes,
that
he
I've
is.
heard. Like, there's not very many characters like that. Like, he's kind of Borg-ish almost.
He's kind of like. He reminds me of There was like I can't believe I'm bringing this back to this. There was like a rejected kind of like Godzilla monster who was like him, who was just like made of a bunch of junk.
Hedora, right?
Yeah, it's like Hedora. It was supposed to be like Godzilla, but just made out of metals and shit.
Uh
But like he's kind of just like this being who exists out of like metal.
huh. Okay. So yeah, he's a very weird concept to put on screen. And if you look up like art of Warlock, he's a very crazy design. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm very interested to see how they translate that to live action and how he fits into the tone of the movie. Well, at least the version of the movie that was going to be coming out like next week or something like that. It was supposed to be.
Oh no.
It was, or like, I don't know, was it next month? I can't remember.
Wow, that's really close, actually.
Yeah, but I'm interested to see how that design fits into the movie that we know from the trailer. But yeah,
I mean, it'll be horrifying, probably.
probably like, yeah,
Well,
it'll be interesting.
if you look, he was created by Chris Claremont and Bill Sienkiewicz,
Right,
who also created Legion.
right. But Legion is very easy to translate on screen.
No, I mean character design.
Right, yeah, like, okay,
But the way Legion looks and the way they did it,
right,
the way he did it in the comics and on Legion, very different.
right. I feel like
So
they're
they
gonna
could
stick
do
to it
they
a
could
little
do
bit.
this. Yeah.
Because,
But what do I know?
but I mean, we'll see. But like, even like what I've seen so far, they're sticking to the designs of these characters mostly, at least what their like civilian look is, kind of.
Matt Boone is directing the movie, right?
Yes,
Josh
Josh Boone.
Josh Boone.
Yes, director of
Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah, Fault in Our Stars. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, what a weird like jump.
Yeah, and he's been working on The Stand for like forever.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
that's also an interesting choice. Okay.
That's
yeah.
a ring endorsement, though, Hunter.
Yeah. Well. Okay. But yeah, like I'm interested to see how this works, and if this is why they pushed it back a year, I get it. Like, this makes more sense to me actually than their initial story, which was they're trying to make it scarier. Although this may be part of that.
That's probably.
Also, it could be that they have a lot on their plate right now, superhero-wise, and they don't want to clog the market.
That's true. That's
I mean,
very true.
Adding a new character to New Mutants kind of scares me a little bit. Just like
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
they'd be an
does.
initial 18, though.
he's nebulous enough where he doesn't really have to be a character, if that makes sense. Or he could just be like a presence.
Right. I see what you mean. I'm interested to see how this works out. And maybe I wouldn't be surprised because the character seems like a character who could maybe start out as an antagonist and maybe become a protagonist at some point.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they're changing the plot of the movie a little bit, and maybe turning him into the antagonist of the movie. Because maybe as an antagonist he fits more with what they've sort of set up in previous X-Men movies. I could definitely see that.
Yeah, his design can be kind of retrofitted to fit horror.
Right. Yes.
I mean, there are like panels I've seen of Warlock where he looks terrifying. Like he's just this cloud of metal, essentially. Just like he looks like a Five Nights at Freddy's characters at some point. Like he's got that weird like.
That's very accurate.
Yeah.
From everything that I've seen, yes. So yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see how this works. I'm definitely less cautious about New Mutants because again, like the whole horror thing, that felt kind of like, really, you need to make it scarier, like.
Please don't.
Like it came out and nobody was like, we need to make this scarier. Well, except for me. I thought it could have been a little bit scarier, but that's me.
I don't know.
Me too.
But
What,
like,
you guys didn't like the loud bangs whenever Pennywise would be on screen?
I don't know. I didn't think the flute lady was that scary, to be honest.
the flute lady was terrifying. Shut your mouth. But no, like, yeah, like, I don't know. I don't really get that. I never really got the "that's make it scarier" argument, but I can definitely see them saying there's something missing here, and let's add this character because maybe this movie will work better with this character.
Yeah, they probably did test showings and it got bad results, or at least not what they wanted tone-wise. So
yeah, I could definitely see that. So yeah, those are the stories. Unless something happened since Friday when I picked the stories.
I do want to bring this up that test screenings of Godzilla King of All Monsters came out.
Oh,
And apparently it's very positive.
that's good. That's very good.
The special effects aren't done, but they said that the monster fights, like what they shown, are actually pretty good. Which is like, yes.
I'm so
Please
happy.
tell me it's practical when it comes to the monsters.
No, it's not. Allan. Okay.
did you guys see the Shazam set photos?
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yes, I didn't put it on the news just because, but like, yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with that.
That's the thing they're making.
I didn't think that was a movie that existed actually until that moment.
Why do you think Zachary Levi's? Why do you think what's his face got killed off so quickly in Thor Ragnarok?
There's a great Photoshop of Zachary Levi with a mustache.
It's pretty good. It's really good. I love it. So here's the thing. What we're seeing is set photos, right? So we don't know how it's going to look in the movie.
I mean, I'm sure there's effects on him,
right?
like,
but I'm
sure
curious because it looks like something we would see on the CW. Like the quality of the costume is better.
It looks like a early 2000s costume, kinda.
It does as well. It also looks like that, but like it feels like something that we would see on the Flash or on Legends. Like in terms of just like its design and like the feel.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
That's the thing. Because
Nate has a better costume.
Because we've been saying for a long time, like, we want the DC movies to be brighter and lighter. But is this what we want?
Now I don't know.
Shazam in Santa's Village?
Is this really what we wanted? Are we
honestly what I want out of the DC universe is like make a good movie and then I'm like I'll be that's what I want.
Right.
Just give me something to grab. Like Wonder Woman was good and we got Justice League and I feel like there's nothing left.
Right. Like just maybe make the movie good. Like that's the whole thing. Like I don't care if the movie looks gray and dark and bleak. Yes, that's not my favorite look anymore. But if you make a good movie, I won't care.
Yeah, I don't care if Superman kills like 5 people. Just make it
make sense.
Yeah, like Superman can snap Zod's neck all he wants. Here's the thing: I've defended that movie on many occasions, but just don't have him be a secret objectivist. Because
yeah, what the fuck?
And don't kill Jonathan Kent with a tornado.
Well, I mean, he kind of deserved it.
Yeah, definitely.
He had it coming.
But like, it's like just make the movie good, and we will not care about the aesthetic. Aesthetic is one of the last things I care about.
I mean, there is a argument to be made that making a DC movie that's kind of like dark and gritty that could be interesting.
Right.
But like, it has to be interesting. That's the whole point.
Like, and as a counterpoint to Marvel, having one universe be slightly darker, that's fine. Like, I prefer variety, sure. But if your movie's crap, if most of your movies have been meh to just slightly below good, then you're doing something wrong and you're focusing more on other things that don't matter.
You're doing a disservice to your property too.
Right.
Like,
yeah, and like we said, you're poisoning the water. Like, there's a reason why, you know, we talked about the potential of Warner Brothers being broken up into smaller companies and then sold off. There's a reason why there's a potential that there will be studios that will just buy Superman and buy Batman, and then just the rest of them will be thrown away. Because those are the only two characters that you can make forever, that you can do things with forever, and that they're kind of immortal from any sort of poisoning of the well. There's
Batman.
There's a point where Aquaman, where the Flash, where Cyborg, they become, where the possibility of those characters being unusable in future films becomes a real possibility.
Namor is in,
right? Yeah, possibly. See, yeah, like, stop poisoning the well for yourself. But I don't know, like, we have to wait for Shazam to come out. But I really don't know what to make of the movie based off of these pictures, because they're so confusing.
if you make a Justice League movie, and on this show we're like depressed about it, like in an alternate universe, someone has made a Justice League movie that is so good we have an episode about it every year. Like,
yes, definitely.
Like,
yeah.
Imagine how much money they would have made if they were like, let's just make it good.
Well,
like,
and on the same point, like, there's no reason, and I've said this before, there's no reason Batman vs. Superman shouldn't have made $1.5 billion.
Yeah, there's no reason why it should not have.
There's no reason. Like, it's Batman and it's Superman.
And they're fighting.
They're the two most iconic characters in all of comics. Period. Like, it's not a question. Like next is Spider-Man, as I've said, and then Wonder Woman, and then maybe recently Iron Man and Wolverine.
Then, yeah, Wolverine.
I do have a question though.
Yeah.
Is she with you?
Oh God. Here we go.
But yeah, like, I don't know. This was a nice little DC tangent brought on by Zachary Levi in that costume. And regardless of anything, he pulls it off, I guess. Like, he looks good,
he looks huge.
I guess. Yeah. He's definitely fits the part, so good on him.
He looks like he could snap all of us in half. Really.
Probably. Most likely.
I heard you were talking shit again.
Yeah, and also, like, he does look like he has, like, that sort of boyish thing that we were talking about, you know, where he's supposed to be like a 12-year-old boy in a grown man's body. So that's something that I don't know. I don't know if you can tell that from set pictures, but it seems like he fits. So yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah. All right. So that's again. I don't think there's any news that I missed. If there is, don't tell me on Twitter. I don't care. I don't care whatsoever.
You can tell me, and I'll probably snarkily respond.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell Al all about the news that I missed. So yeah, this was your Phantom Zone / After Dark for the week, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Jessica Jones, first 4 episodes, and etc. etc. Look for future reviews. Our regular CW TV reviews, they will be out end of the week. So go to that, and our own Twitter, you know all my plugs. Lost Hour Podcast with Eric. So yeah.
Yep. I just want to remind you all that Godzilla did not sink the USS Lawton. It was not him. He was framed. It was an inside job. And that's it. Yeah.
And fuck Iron Fist.
Yeah. Fuck Iron Fist. Fuck that show.
Eric, do you want to do plugs? Or...
Yeah, just follow me on Twitter at Sayour, where I review every movie that I watch. I like doing that. And if you've watched any of the movie and disagree with me, just like the tweet.
All right. So yeah, this was your Fam Zone, and bye.
Marry me,
Goodbye.
Daisy.
Bye.
I am Adam Freiberg. Goodbye.